Hey there, welcome back. I'm really sorry that she died in an expat haven. And this is a woman that the article didn't say she was armed, didn't say she posed any kind of threat, physical threat whatsoever, but I'll get to that in a second. Doing our Italian food this time. It's green sauce, also known as pesto. Green sauce doesn't sound too Italian. So we just got back from Quito. We just took a short 3-day trip to Quito, which was pretty amazing. It seemed though that it was a lot sunnier in Quito than here. We practically got a suntan from just walking around. Speaking of Quito, which is the capital, there's finally has been a change here in administration, and the new guy has come in and he's already made a statement of positive changes where he's removing taxes off of things like a variety of things. I don't remember all of them, but some of the ones I remember are like toilet paper and toothpaste, reading glasses and hearing aids, and a few other even more important items. But we enjoyed walking around Carolina Park. We always enjoy walking around Quito. There's just a never-ending amount of walking to do in Quito. Pretty amazing city, really. Now, we've had quite a few people request the state of affairs and the condition of things. And speaking of the new administration, it seems like they're wanting to make some positive changes, which is always a good idea. But really, when you look throughout the world, the places that are really booming with their terrorism are the places that either have not instituted or have removed these 2020 inspired restrictions on people. I mean, a lot of people will voluntarily do these things and go along and do these testing and all these kind of things, but a lot of people don't want them. They don't want to be told they have to do it, and they asked us and they want to know what's going on, what's the state of affairs there. So a little tip to the administration: if you really want this place to start booming again, you can start by removing the mandatory medical restrictions that are unnecessary, because plenty of people that want to do them will just do them, and the ones that don't want to do them, which you can just roughly guesstimate at probably at least half of the people, if not more, this country would just get back to the influx of terrorism that it had before. I say this not as someone that is eager to have an influx of people that all they do is raise prices on everything. So anybody that's been following this channel knows that I don't enjoy that at all. But yet we have been able to stay out of that kind of bubble making. The whole 10 years we've been abroad, we've never paid more than $300 or $400 for 3 and 4 bedroom houses and apartments, furnished and unfurnished, as you know. We did mention some apartments that we showcased on our previous videos. If you haven't seen them, just look back a couple of videos from here. And so we like to show people we're consistent, and we do what we say, and we say what we mean, and that's why we like to show those. It's not because we're not real estate agents. We don't want to run around with people and help them get apartments. What we want to do is show them what they could be doing, and then also help them to learn to do this. And so we have some freebies with that in mind below the video. Click the link below if you want some freebies. They're right there below the video. On another note, in Mexico, the statistics are saying that the major, or either the top major reason or cause of death, or one of the top causes of death in Mexico, is diabetes. And the statistics say that on average, Mexicans drink at least 500 cans of soda per year, which translates to more than 1.5 cans. Let's see, 365 days. I may have that math a little off, but it's definitely more than 1 can every single day of soda. And when you consider so many thousands of people die of diabetes in Mexico, and it's like the major cause of death there. But they also say that they generally don't exercise a lot. In other words, they're very unhealthy. When you're talking about people that are very unhealthy, for example, there's a spot in the Old Testament, in the Bible, in the days of Abraham, which Abraham was going through this kingdom, and anyway, I'll spare you the details. The Pharaoh got deathly ill. The Pharaoh got deathly ill. So my point is, people have been getting ill and sick and deathly ill forever. I mean, when you look at all the years that people used to live, starting from creation, and where it says Adam and Eve lived 900 years or whatever, and then they died. So and so lived 700 years, and then they died. These guys lived 125 years, and then they died. Everybody dies. So, but you've got sickly people and healthy people. And when the pandemic first hit, and nobody really knew what was going to play out, and they were, you know, these big, huge numbers were being thrown around, people were told that they had to, like my mom, where she was living, because she passed away a few months ago, they were told that they had to they should wear a mask and that they would wear gloves. My point is, she was wearing the mask, she was wearing the gloves, and she was in her 70s, and she already had pre-existing conditions, and she went on a bus, and even though she did all the things she was told, she put on the disinfectant, she put on the gloves, she put on the mask, she still got influenza A from getting on a bus. She almost died from it in the hospital, and even though she was doing all those things. So my point is that some people are going to get sick regardless what they do because of the low immune system. And we've talked about this before in other videos. Just the idea that people are dying, people want to make a case for something because people are dying. And I hate making a video like this about people dying, but that's exactly what everybody around us is fearful of, is people dying, isn't it? I mean, we got to talk about this, right? Tell me, when has there been a time that people haven't been dying ever since creation? So ever since the dawn of creation, people have always died. People have always been getting sick. There always have been people that, due to their choices in life, you know, the choices that they make, something is going to knock them off, whether it's diabetes, heart attack, or some kind of pulmonary issue, whether you want to call it, the current name that they're giving to it, or what have you, from whether it's from smoking, COPD, you know, whatever. People, this is nothing new, you know. Again, if you want to live in fear, wear your double mask, your shield, you know, put your disinfectant on, spray the air, spray everything you touch. You want to live like that? It is your choice. That's the whole point. Go ahead. I mean, nobody's stopping you. You know, I love it in these places where people are basically left to their own choices to make their own decision. It is a personal choice, but your fear ends where the next guy's freedom begins. You know, being fearful, going through life being fearful, that's no way to live, you know. And so as to the lady, I was really sad to read this. This happened in Tulum, Mexico, which is on the Riviera Maya, a very touristy area, and it's just south of Cancun, and this is the Caribbean side of Mexico. And this is a woman that the article didn't say she was armed, didn't say she posed any kind of threat, physical threat whatsoever. The 4 police officers that pounced on her and used so much force, this was a young woman, this is not an 89-year-old, this is a younger woman. The 4 police officers exerted so much force on her that it killed her. And so it's sad to hear that things like this happen, but it's interesting in a way that this kind of a thing is in the news in the States a lot, but you see that it's possible for these kinds of things to happen anywhere, even in normally understood as a touristy area, Riviera Maya, and you think that the only concern is, oh, well, if you're not involved in drugs, then nothing's going to happen. And so I hate to see, the abuse of force. I can't imagine what kind of a threat a young woman would be to 4 grown men. I'm going to speculate and say maybe she sassed back and somebody's ego was hurt and they overreacted. So, but they want these police officers punished, and that's a good thing. This kind of show of force against the population is unacceptable in any country. It doesn't matter whether it's in America. But the point of me making the video is to show people that this is not unique to America and North America. And they make a really big splash over the news, in North America, and it's as it should, but I'm saying that sometimes it gets distorted into something other than what it is, and it's just an excessive use of force and an inappropriate use of force by people that are supposed to be serving and protecting. And so we're always sad to see such a thing. And I hope I've inspired you to kind of see through some of these headlines and understand that these kind of things can happen anywhere. And we appreciate you watching our videos, and as always, have a wonderful day.